Kingdom Come Deliverance II is scheduled for a February release, and it is one of the titles that is on the schedule that actually has people excited. Monster Hunter Wilds is going to be phenomenal, but if you're looking for something a little smaller in scope, something that is maybe scratching that fantasy niche a little bit more than just going out there and fighting big mythical monsters, at one point in time, people were very much looking forward to this continuation of an indie darling making good by pushing back against the agenda in 2021, and then rumors and leaks started to happen. And yes, when we last talked about this, with unskippable gay scenes, seemed a little bit far-flung. Especially, coming out of Warhorse Studio, which seemed to be one of those rare collectives like Moon Studios and CI Games that actually have their head screwed on correctly. And it's like, and that could just, okay, because Saudi Arabia is banning something, it could be something as weird as not enough realistic depiction of the Dubai porta potty. Who knows why they're banning a game? Okay, so yeah, we're gonna need a little bit more context, and the developers promised that there would be a follow-up on this stuff, and yeah, they ended up doing as much in the subsequent days. And well, right after that leak came out, they decided to update their code of conduct on the Steam discussion boards, where, yeah, they're just doubling down on certain policies. Discrimination in any form is strictly prohibited, and that includes racism, sexism, homophobia, ableism, ageism, religious discrimination, classism, colorism, body shaming, no hate speech or harmful ideologies. It's like, what are you guys doing? We've updated our code of conduct. Oh, thanks. That's your community manager, a developer over there with one of those, goofy leftist cartoon profiles. Oh boy, what are we dealing with here? And then we got further clarification as to the unskippable gay scene, and well, it's not unskippable. There is some gay stuff in it. Now, as we talked about before, just because some gay stuff is in there, and just because some people want to go ahead and paint things with a broad brush, doesn't necessarily mean a game is woke or not. And as somebody who very much understands two of the biggest punching bag games that are out there right now, by the people that are, completely drunk on their power to perceivably tank a game just because it doesn't adhere to their own ideological perception about how games should be. It should all just be T and A, and if you don't have enough of that stuff, your game is woke. Oh, you have a woman covered up? Why isn't there cleavage? I'm being a tad hyperbolic, but some of the gooning is getting a little out of control. But then I also don't want to take the other side of that equation, where you also have the Bible thumpers that are out there calling anything with perceived sexuality as degenerate and immoral. It's like, okay, cool. If you think a character design is somehow going to dissuade people from playing, or if the only reason that you want to play a game is because there is a gratuitous amount of fat placed in the appropriate places, it's like you aren't playing games for the right reasons, in my opinion. Support the games that are good games, that have good stories, good characters, and great gameplay. But then also turning your nose up at games just because they want to appeal to a certain fandom. It's just, all that Goonergate stuff really just detract more than it helps. Here's the problem. There's not enough stuff to talk about in gaming right now that eats up enough of these people time, so then they just end up turning on their own. So it's like, I'm just going to stay out of that stuff because I don't really care that much about it. It's like, if Kingdom Come Deliverance II is woke, I'll say that it's woke. And if it's not, I'll just treat it like I was going to when I heard that it was coming out. It's like, oh, that's good. I'm glad this game survived. It's not something I'm going to play. I got the first one free when, Epic Games was giving out their games over, the Christmas and New Year's stretch. And yeah, I'm excited to give that game a shot at some point in time. It's just, I'm not penciling it in anywhere because in a couple of days' time, at least from time of recording, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is coming out on PC, and I couldn't be more excited. Yay! But I digress. Let's talk about the clarification proffered by the developer. And well, he does clear things up, but then oh my god, man, you could have done this a lot more elegantly. Let's just put it at that. So Kingdom Come Deliverance director confirms divisive content, defends controversial romance options, and diverse characters. All right, so what are we doing? After rumors last week that Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 was banned in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia for unskippable pride-centric romance scenes. Well, that wasn't the way it was presented at the time. I know, I was there. It was unskippable gay scenes. Not pride-centric, but okay. The game's creative director took to X to set the record straight. Daniel Vavra, the creative director of Kingdom Come Deliverance II, has spoken out to address the swirling rumors regarding the game's content and alleged bans in certain countries. And yeah, we might as well go directly to that thread, as he has a 10-point screed out here, and I think that it's very important to go through the first-hand material. It's time to address the wild claims some people spread that are apparently based just on one screenshot in a poorly translated tweet. Well, I kind of thought that it was going to be poorly translated, or at least the context was going to be lacking. So yeah, okay. And because this is this guy's, like, you know, this is his baby. He's the creative director, so yeah, I'm not going to be, you know, Mr. Tone Police going, you're being awfully aggressive. It's like, yeah, I understand. You see people trying to take shots at the game that you're working on. They have bad information available to them. It's almost like saying, yeah, I don't want to play that game because, you know, the parent company set up an ethics department and then they, you know, changed the size of a bust. They made her put on another shirt. I'm still not mad about that for just, you know, idiots that are out there. But hey, you go ahead and tell me, you know, how groundbreaking the gameplay of Stellar Blade was and how you're still playing it to this very day. Anyways, there are no unskippable cutscenes in our games. Anyone who claims otherwise never played them. Okay, well, that's pretty cut and dry, okay? And he says it, he works on the game, and that's going to be easily confirmable when the game comes out in just a couple weeks' time, okay? Number 2, we are not, nor never were, banned in any country. At least not that we know of. Okay, so yeah, they would know. They would definitely know. As much as I don't like forced diversity, nobody was forcing us to do anything, and we are not forcing anyone to do certain things. Okay, alright, cool. Gay characters were already in Kingdom Come Deliverance II. 4th point. It's like, yeah, okay, hey guys, gay people exist. I know, right? It's crazy. And just because gay doesn't mean woke. My perception of that is if they're somehow making a character simply by their virtue of being gay somehow elevated because of their proclivity for certain orifices to be filled, that would be woke, okay? Allowing them to morally grandstand on immutable characteristics, that's woke. Denigrating the norm, in contrast, that's also woke, in order to uplift otherwise fringe and divisive ideology. There you go. There's not a comprehensive nor complete list. That's just the stuff off the top of my head that I think fits the bill. 5. Kingdom Come Deliverance is an RPG. You're responsible for your decisions. All right. If you want Henry to try same-sex adventure, feel free. If you don't want to, you don't have to. All affairs are and were in Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, number 1, purely optional. The characters are perfectly aware that it is a forbidden sin. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. The game takes place in one of the richest cities in Europe, which was besieged by a massive foreign army. And that's the reason why life is in such a city is more diverse than life in the villages, which were featured in the first game. Yeah, different setting requires different representation. Makes sense. Musa came to Bohemia with the invading army as a member of the royal court of King Sigismund, there you go, who met, thanks to their engagement in the court of Sultan Bayezid. He's the educated noble and Renaissance man from the kingdom of Mali. Yeah, where does Yasuke play into this? Because I see all of these names and, you know, historical references and stuff like that. It's like, where is a fringe retainer and what's his role in your narrative here? Like, I'm not tracking this. At the same time, Musa is a very unusual figure for the local Bohemian folk, and many of his situations around him in the game stem from this. So his presence makes sense and creates a lot of interesting situations in the game. The way he talks and behaves has a reason. Everything displayed corresponds to the morals and social norms of of 1403 Bohemia, and is only there to make an interesting story and not at all to appeal to a modern audience. You love to see it. We don't want Kingdom Come Deliverance to be used as clickbait by people who didn't even play it yet. Some of them sadly turned into exactly the same narrative they pretend to be fighting against, which, you know, to be completely honest, see that a lot. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and then also, you know, God of War Ragnarok. See that a lot too. It makes me sick to my stomach. Haven't played the game, very much experienced the story, the narrative, watched a lot of gameplay of it, so I have an educated opinion on it, as opposed to the people that just simply think that it's, you know, Bad Dad Simulator and talking about your feelings and, you know, being talked down to by a race-swapped Norse god. And it's like, I don't even know where to begin on that. It's all just so patently wrong. The amount of hateful behavior is really sad, and it will damage any cause associated with it. Yeah, I mean, just get your facts right. If you don't like the game, that's one thing, but just don't lie about it. Don't be purposefully wrong about it. Now, it comes out that, Daniel out here was talking absolute horseshit when the game comes out. Oh boy, he will definitely have some explaining to do, but his claims have apparently been backed up by Grummz, who also has somebody on the inside who has played the game. He's got confirmation by somebody who is backing up a bunch, if not all, of Daniel's claims. I received exclusive information from somebody who has completed the game, which clears up many rumors. Note the game director, Daniel Vavra, just posted clarification, and he's 100% telling it to you straight, or gay if that's the way that you want to do it. According to the player, who wants to clear the air so the game can succeed, this is the exact content of the game's main storyline, and not all side quests completed. Oh, okay, cool. So yeah, he's just edited out, the sensitive information that could go ahead and identify who's coming forward with this stuff. That's fine. Yes, Henry can romance other characters in the game. Henry can romance another male. However, this is not forced upon the player in any way. Similar to how BioWare did romance checks, you must A, initiate a dialogue, and B, pass around 5 dialogue choice romance checks without missing one in order to unlock this romantic partner. You have to go out of your way to do this and do it over the course of half the game. Okay, cool. So you've got to establish and create relationships with whoever you're going to bone later in the game. Makes sense, right? The dialogue options for the male romance are treated very secretive, very taboo, and in line with the historical times. Yeah, exactly. Hey, do you want to go to the stable real quick? We need to go shear the sheep, if you will. The romance scene is extremely brief and entirely skippable. 5 seconds of kissing. I thought there was no Oh, no, right. He said no unskippable. My mistake. 5 seconds of kissing total, and then 5 seconds of them in bed naked. And you know what? When it comes to video game depictions of relations, for as much as I love, the Mass Effect trilogy of games, they were always just, super awkward, just polygons rubbing together. And it's like, yeah, for as much as Miranda has the perfect video game ass, don't really need to see Shepard undress her before they try to storm the collector base. I'm kind of fine with that. That's all right. No one is hanging dong and just on top of each other kissing, thank God. The other cutscene with Henry and women are much more vulgar. Haha. Yeah, no, that's, again, don't really need to see it, don't really care all that much, but yeah. When it comes to, seeing that type of gratuitous activity, right? It's like, I know what happens. Okay, I know that we eventually advanced as a society since 1403. Okay, I don't need to see exactly how that happened. Okay, you can leave an air of mystery out there. For fun, I asked if the women in the gameplay were as well endowed as the first game. He replies, oh, the titties will be wild. Nah, a lot of titties. All the cutscenes are skippable. Plus, story side missions, romance scenes can all be skipped. There are no examples of LGBTQ in the game, minus one character from the first game, but his sexuality isn't even mentioned, which is great, man, because I don't care if you're gay. Literally, okay? Never get this shit twisted, okay? I don't care what you do in the privacy of your own bedroom. You're a guy and you have a husband, whatever, man. I legitimately don't care. Just when you make it the central defining character of your personality, the core principle of your character and personality, it's like, I don't want to talk to you because you're just a boring person. Anyways, many people talking about Istvan and Eric from the first game being gay. In this one, it's not even mentioned in the main story. While it confirmed in the first game that Istvan is gay in the first game, to my knowledge, it doesn't even reference it in this one. Okay. There's a black character in the game, which ended up making a lot more sense with, Dan's elaboration. He's a medic. He's very well thought out from a writing perspective. He's under command of the enemy commander. And while said commander is kind to him, everyone around him treats him like shit. He's a very likable character. It goes into pretty hardcore detail how he ended up there. Oh, okay. So he wasn't brought along just because, they had boxes to check in, the invading army. The town is not multicultural and fits with the historical times. The black character is for sure a fish out of water from the cultural standpoint. Okay, and now the gameplay. The player says it slaps 10 on 10. Combat is similar but easier to the first game. Lockpicking still sucks. Yeah, that was one of the things that was very quickly modded out there. And it's like, you guys you can't do lockpicking. Okay, the medieval warfare is fun as fuck, but just stick to what you're good at. Is basically the takeaway. Based on the information, I would say the whole Kingdom Come Deliverance thing has been blown out of proportion. Yeah, from what I can see, from what has been confirmed there, and then also from the clarification from the developer, it's just he's kind of stepping in it. very much stepping in it, because after the clarification, then he starts going on screeds. Okay, Kingdom Come Deliverance II creative director Daniel Vavra confirms the gay scene. Yeah, and it's Bible thumpers kind of like this, okay, because they end up really painting things in a bad light. But Vavra here, it's like, why are you doing this, man? Okay, you can just focus on making a good game, okay, trying to appeal to the thinker or to try to bring both sides together. That shit ain't happening, man. Just make your game. If it's good, they will come. Simple as. So after the leftists cursing me at, being a Nazi for 10 years, now Nazis cursing me at Jew because Saudi Arabia might want to ban Kingdom Come Deliverance because of homosexual scene. Rate that translation pretty grammatically poor, but okay, cool. So now you're just painting both sides as being insane. That's wonderful. And then going after commentary channels, covering the situation and also bigging up your game. Oh my god, dude. What are we doing out here? Daniel Vavra goes after Rev Says Desu, who has been recommended a ton on YouTube. Holy crap, you cannot scroll without seeing this dude's content. Shout out because you cracked it. But god damn, man. Rev defended your game, Daniel. You are messing this up. Yeah, exactly. Another grifter. No, our pre-orders haven't dropped because of backlash. The sold return copy ratio is the same as it was. What happened is that the preview hype has naturally waned, and 9 massively discounted games entered the chart. Monster Hunter is down as well. Yeah, that is something that I've noticed because I've been paying attention to what Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is doing, mostly because I don't get a penny from shilling that game, by the way. I just love it, and I hope a lot of people have the opportunity to play it this Thursday when it comes out, because I know this weekend I'm going to be playing a fuck ton of it. But anyways, you got Rev's response labeling me a grifter in a video where I defend your game for being labeled woke over a rumored gay scene is wild. Yes, people cancel pre-orders. Many did because you won't address the actions of your community manager's code of conduct posted on Steam. Yeah, exactly. Another situation, Helldivers 2, where a game is good, it is beloved by the fan base, but a community manager is messing it up for the rest of them. Yes, even now you still avoid the issue entirely. Yes, your game has a lot of pre-orders, but it would have had more if you didn't tiptoe around valid concerns about your actions stemming from your parent company. Seeing you crash out over someone pointing this out is exactly why people are losing trust in you. Exactly. But as for the normies, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 just went up 60 points in pre-orders in Steam, climbing up several ranks from the looks of its pre-orders, will keep increasing even more. So yeah, even with all of the controversy that's going on right now, it's an exceptionally weak release cycle. Assassin's Creed Shadows got pushed off by a month. Avowed, we'll have to talk about that later this week, because that's also looking like it could also be getting delayed, meaning that, yeah, there's, of the 4 big tent poles, 2 remain. Monster Hunter Wilds looks phenomenal for those fans, but Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, it was an indie hit, it was an indie darling. You guys have done a lot of good and have a lot of goodwill heading into this game. It's just how you're screwing it up right now by just fighting invisible ghosts. Yeah, it's a little bit wild. This is one of those situations where people are actively trying to root for you, but you just find new and interesting ways to continue to step in it. I hope it stops. Hopefully you guys just go radio silent, put out a banger trailer ahead of release, and people can put all of this wokeness nonsense behind them. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.